Hi, we are Tara and Aaron Walker, and we are members of High Point's inaugural FPU class from back in March 2009.
So we entered the class with pretty low expectations of what this class was going to provide us. We were in a bad spot financially, obviously, but we thought, well, we don't have much going on right now, so what do we have to lose? So we jumped in with both feet and really committed to giving it the best effort that we could. So we entered this class with $72,000 in consumer debt, which included each of us had a car payment. We had credit cards that were almost maxed out, and we had a little bit of money owed to the IRS in back taxes. So we were not in a good spot financially.
As we continued on, we just kept paying off debt. We were doing this debt snowball, and by December 2009, we were about 9 months into it. It had been such a life-changing experience for us thus far, and we had paid down so much debt at that point, and we were feeling so encouraged that we decided to gift the Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, to all of our family members. They received it well, but it was probably the first year that we did not put any Christmas gifts on the credit card though. So we were sticking to our budget because surprisingly enough, Christmas comes on December 25th every year. So we're able to prepare for that now, which was nice.
Yeah. So at that time, just having that budget and sticking to it, we had seen progress in our debt pay down, and we're making good headway on that. Our communication was great during that time. We were growing together as a couple, and we were growing in our relationship with God, which was also kind of a thing that we didn't even realize was going to happen at that time. But we're like, man, we're on the same page with money, so like, what can't we do at this point?
Yeah. So then in January 2010, we got this letter in the mail saying if we paid $8,000 towards a $24,000 second mortgage, that the $16,000 would just be forgiven. And we were like, this cannot possibly be right.
Yeah, so I'm skeptical, as I've said, but so I did a bunch of research. I was checking it out, called the company, the bank that owned the mortgage. I'm like, hey, is this legit? And had my attorney look at it and these sorts of things, checked to make sure I wasn't getting scammed, because we had been saving at that time for a car. So we had sold both our cars with car payments. We were down to one car, and then we were borrowing a car when needed from a family member. And so we had been saving for, almost a year at this point for another car. And then this incredible opportunity presented itself. And we're like, okay, well, we have to at least check into it and make sure it's something that is real first.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we did, it was and confirmed that it was an easy decision for us. I mean, we'd been rolling with one car for that long, so what's a little longer? So we made sure we were good with the family member and we could still borrow that car if we needed it. And then, so we took that $8,000 that we'd been saving, paid it off on a second mortgage, and they forgave a total of $24,000. So we paid $8,000, they forgave $16,000.
Yeah. And I just thought it was such a perfect example of the grace of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
We put forth the minimal effort. We just accept his forgiveness, and then he just forgives it all. I mean, so easily. And that's what it was like. You pay this smaller amount and you get this greater debt forgiven. And it was awesome. So that was just one more thing to keep us rolling. And so that was in January of 2010. In March 2010, we were able to march into the bank and pay off our last consumer debt. So we became consumer debt free 1 year after starting the class, because we were just going after it, gazelle intense.
Yeah, so a lot of that money was based on us selling our cars. That got a big chunk of it. And then the rest of it, we were just very strict with our budget. Anything over about $5 we would talk about, no major purchases at all. We didn't go out to eat or have coffee for a year. And
my mom actually put money on a Starbucks gift card for me because she felt bad.
But for us it mattered. We wanted to get out of debt. We wanted to change our family tree.
Mm-hmm.
We both came from families who had debt and had credit cards, and that was kind of a normal thing. We didn't know anything about it. Nobody talked to us when we were younger about it, and so we were learning lessons the hard way, and we didn't like how it felt. So that was amazing, marching in there and paying that off. And so March 2011, we completed baby step 3.
Yeah.
So 1 year later, so that's year 2. It's 2 years after we had taken the class. We completed baby step 3, which is our 3 to 6 months of savings.
Yep, and we just have that in a separate savings account. It's still hanging out over there, and we haven't had to use it. Just knowing that it's there too, it just provides that sense of security. You don't have to worry if there's something major that happens. You know that you're already set up for success in that area, for sure.
Yeah, when you have a plan, it's crazy how things like that do not become an emergency any longer. So anytime something comes up, we just talk about it, we handle it, and most of the time we don't even dip into that. So we're just able to figure out different ways to pay for it because we're not under that burden of making payments on all sorts of different things. So it just kind of clears your mind up to think and make good decisions.
And then June 2011, that's when we began baby step number 4.
Yeah. So that's when we had started doing some research and found good Roth IRAs, and like Dave recommends. And so we invested in our mutual fund through the Roth IRAs. And that was the first time that either of us had really invested purposefully.
But in 2014, we were blessed with our first little girl. So then we started baby step number 5, which is saving for college. We started that right away. We got her a savings account right away. And then, within the year, we got her college started too. Yeah, so we refinanced into a 12-year mortgage
about 6 years
about
ago.
6 years ago. And so we were excited. We're like, okay, 12 years and we'll have our house paid off. And then any little bit more that we could put towards it, we just felt that would make it be even sooner. And as we saw the number go down and down, it just kept feeling more and more achievable to get to that payoff point faster.
We kind of started to feel that same gazelle intensity that we felt during baby step 2 while we were paying off all that debt. And we were watching that number go down on our mortgage every month. We're like, okay, like this is cool. Look at this. And we talk about it and like, okay, what if we did this and we were able to make this kind of money, pay it towards that? What would that do? How much quicker could we pay this thing off, rather than 12 years?
Yeah, so October 2020, so just a little bit ago, we were able to pay off our house. It felt so amazing. We had the funds wired, and then we had a little dance party with our girls to celebrate. It was just an incredible feeling, and nothing that, I don't know, as a little girl, I never thought that houses were paid off. I never really thought about that. And even when we started the class, I kind of thought, well, yeah, someday. But I never really thought it was as achievable as it became when we put our mind to it.
When we planned for it, obviously we've seen God work in our lives in amazing ways. I mean, we're average people, we're normal people. And we didn't do anything special. We just did what the Bible tells us to do. We followed Dave's plan, and this is the result of it. And it's been an incredible ride.
Yeah.
So
super cool. So we're about a month and a half into baby step number 7, which is build wealth and give generously. Give big. One thing, we believe in giving big. And so all throughout the process, we've never been stingy. Where we were able to give, we would. But this has it's just accelerated even the giving and the building of wealth portion too. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, and so our now we're at a point where we're around the holidays, and we're able to share this experience with our kids, and our girls are able to see, okay, well, we've paid off all the stuff. We have money where we can go and bless others. And so you guys, our girls, we get to share in that with them. They get to be a part of that, which is very special. We're kind of moving us on to the next generation. And so, that's what God's called us to do. We're excited that we're able to do that. And we're excited to see you guys do the same thing.
Want to do it?
Do you want to do it? Let's do it.
Okay.
We're